I love talking about this because this is so common among new investors and even seasoned ones. This is really common. These are things I wish someone had told me when I first got started. These are things that I wish I hadn't spent a lot of time on trying to figure out. So that's what I want to go through with you guys today. The first pitfall is the high earners paradox. And I call this a paradox because the high earners paradox is that your high salary is actually keeping you from building wealth. And I'll explain why. What happened to us when we first started investing in real estate is we were making good money. We were living a comfortable life. We had a good house to live in. We had a nice car, good things we could afford. We got a few weeks of vacation, but we had no time to spend with family. We were not building wealth. We didn't understand what building wealth entailed. That was because we were making enough money to live a life that was just comfortable enough. And what happens is a lot of people like us who make decent enough money to be able to have this comfortable life, the motivation to build wealth is a little bit lower, right? Because your life is okay as is. The problem is if we don't take action and if we don't change things, we're going to have this okay life forever and ever and ever. So that is the issue with this high earners paradox, where comfort that the salary provides is actually keeping us from reaching financial freedom. The second one is picking paint colors before painting a picture of your future. What happens is, especially for people who are in jobs like I had, like if you're an engineer, if you work with numbers at work, we become so tactical. We become detail oriented. We're all about the numbers and all about taking action and those little steps that get us to the next spot. What this does is it makes us always put tactics over strategy. Overall, if once your strategy is defined, to go that way, but it doesn't allow you to take action in the right direction. My peers that started with me, they started their day at Home Depot. They bought the material, they picked up their subs, they set them up at the job site. That was their day. They were in the field all day. I wanted to have breakfast with my kids in the morning. That's why I had quit my job, right? That's a tactical piece that if I didn't have the strategy aligned first, if I didn't have the vision set up for the life that I wanted, that's the path I would have taken as well. So the solution is, well, number one, you really need to double down on your strategy. You really need to figure out what your strategy is going to be. But each time there is an opportunity to acquire skill set, ask yourself if that's going to impact your trajectory, if that's going to impact your goal, which is to create assets. As a real estate investor who's a busy professional, your goal is to scale and create assets so you can achieve that financial freedom. And ask yourself if that skill set is going to help you get there. The next one is shiny object syndrome. I love talking about this because this is so common among new investors and even seasoned ones. This is really common. So what happens is when you are at a job, right? Somebody always tells you what to do and what not to do when you're an employee. Now, suddenly, when you move over to entrepreneurship, it becomes difficult to figure out what your next step should be and what you're supposed to do. For example, I see new real estate investor dabble into flipping, and then they're doing a rent-ready buy and hold. At the same time, they are dabbling into the BRRRR strategy, looking into syndications, looking into mobile home parks. These are all different strategies, right? If I could attribute one thing to us being able to scale to our portfolio is now worth 6 million. It's been 4 years, and being both Neeti and I being able to attain financial freedom this fast, it's because we really picked one strategy and we doubled down on it, and we kept moving forward and learning more and more about it and how to tweak it and how to make it efficient and put systems and processes in place. The next one is I don't have time myth. It took me a couple years to actually figure this one out. This is something 100% guilty of doing. What we think is that building wealth or personal growth, or in my case, health, we think that it is something that should be comfortable and convenient and easy. And what happens is, if you are someone who has a busy life, things that other people need from you always take priority, especially if you're a woman, right? So my kids take priority, my business takes priority, my family takes priority, the community takes priority over my goals for myself. And we think we don't have time. And it wasn't until I hired a health coach that I got that accountability piece down, and I worked on my mindset to learn that it's not that I don't have time. We have to figure out a way to fit that in and stop thinking it's going to be convenient and comfortable. All right, so the next one is looking for a magic bullet. And so if you think about your career so far, right? Think about all of the time and effort and energy and education went into getting to where you are today when it comes to your job. So you went to college, you got that first job, then you were burning the midnight oil for your employer for all those years. You were climbing the corporate ladder. You worked on yourself to get there, right? How many years did it take? How much effort did you have to put into it? And even money spent on it, right? And then when it comes to real estate, somehow we think that it's like a treasure hunt or something. We think that if I can just find that one deal, if I can just get that one piece of advice on the internet, suddenly I'm gonna attain financial freedom. And it's not like that. Think about how many years, how much effort you had to put in to get to where you are today to make the income that you're making today. The beauty of real estate is you will be able to do it in much faster time. It takes a fraction of the time and energy that we spend building our careers when it comes to real estate investing. But it does take that time and that commitment and that energy and effort. So stop looking for that magic bullet. It's not usually that one deal that changes everything for people. It's usually incremental. So to be ready to put in that energy, that effort, get educated, and spend that time that it takes to build up to that deal that you think is going to change everything. The last one is putting goals before vision. Because we've always been given goals as an employee. Somebody else has a vision for where that company needs to go. Us as an employee are given goals to fit that vision. So we don't train ourselves to look at things as a visionary first. So think about it this way. If your vision is your destination, that's where you want to go. Your goal is your GPS. They're what's going to get you to that destination, but you need that destination. You need that vision first. To get that vision down, what you do is you take about 45 minutes of time to yourself. Spend that time in the space of 5 years from now, 10 years from now. What does your life look like? What kind of lifestyle do you have? Who are you? How are you spending your day? Who are your friends? How is your business set up? Think about where you want to be 5 years from now and stay in that place and build it and write it down. Spend a good amount of time in that space and detail it down on a piece of paper and put it where you can see it every day. That's how you set the goals, by setting the vision first and then the goals. Hello. I don't do this very often, so this is like the first time. If you're here, let me know so I know that you're here. Get your realtor. Financial freedom, not 9 to 5. So I have them written down so I don't forget any of them. Hi, Anastasia.